Hello and welcome back to our second episode of the Triple Double with my host Cameron Clark.
I'm back again with Joe, and we've got our third trifecta of the Triple Double here, Jack.
Hi guys, I'm Jack.
And this man is we would like to call him the guru of a bit of basketball here.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, yeah, but we've got a third opinion now
Yeah, very true.
on our knowledge.
The Houston Rockets super fan.
Yeah, the Rockets
Yes.
player. And should we start with the Rockets?
Can do, yeah.
Yeah.
We can happily start on them.
So obviously last year was a
It was a ropey one.
very tough year.
It
Very
was,
tough
I
year.
mean, bottom of the league, it wasn't
It
ideal.
weren't looking
Do you
good.
know what I mean? Losing Harden last season to the Nets was a big blow. John Wall getting injured too much wasn't ideal.
You're saying injured.
No, he was injured last
Yeah,
season.
he just doesn't want to be there.
No, but we agreed this season that he's not going to play. He's just going to mentor.
'Cause he ain't.
He's just going to mentor the youngsters, which is it's quite nice. But obviously, it's still a rebuilding phase. I understand that. I don't expect too much. But the last run of results has been impressive. Like losing by 10 to Boston, losing by 10 to Dallas. I mean, okay, Utah blew Houston out by 31. That's the bit of the one that surprised me. And then obviously played the Lakers last night or the other night. Again, only lost by 10.
It was only 10.
So
Yeah.
It took a triple double from Joe's favourite player, Russell Westbrook.
The Brickinator. Love
The
him, bro.
Brickinator
The
is starting to show.
Do you think, though, with like obviously the Houston losing Westbrook and also Harden, do you feel like they got what they deserved out of the trades? Obviously, I know they lost Harden and they lost Westbrook, but didn't replace him with anyone
No.
of any substance, really.
No, of course they didn't.
On that
Obviously,
level.
it started going downhill once we traded Capella away.
Yeah.
When we sent Capella to Atlanta, that's when it went downhill, and it just kind of went from we hit rock bottom, and then we didn't get nothing valuable in return for Capella. We was running PJ Tucker at centre for quite a while. Do you know, I mean, yeah, all right,
Jesus.
he's a menace,
Washed.
he's a dog, and all of this.
Washed a buller.
Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, but then obviously trading Chris Paul for Westbrook was a very it was questionable. When I look at it now and I'm thinking, why didn't we stick with CP? Because
I mean, look at him now.
I've always looked whenever I've seen him on any team, he's taken them to the playoffs, no matter what state that. When he was at OKC, the state of that team, and he still took them to the playoffs. All right, yeah, they lost 4-3 to Houston that year.
Yeah.
It was the bubble year.
We got them with the Suns, got them to it.
That's
He
what I'm saying.
took them to the finals.
You got to think. This man has literally just gone and carried the Suns to the playoffs.
Oh, don't forget
Playoffs.
D-Book, don't shit my boy
no,
D-Book.
of course, D-Book and that. But when you look at it as well, though, it's like he's there as one of the main stars of Phoenix.
Oh, no, of course
if
he
not,
is, yeah.
if not as good as
Yeah,
D-Book
definitely.
is, a load of people look at him as the franchise player.
Yeah, of course.
I know D-Book's up there, and I know you're looking at me right now, very fuming about
I'm not
that.
very happy here.
I mean,
Of course you don't.
you've got to look at it like Chris Paul is there as
Experience.
He's an experience point. He's a vet. Do you know what I mean?
course he
He's
is.
going to help Book through and everything like this. I mean, right now Booker for me is that franchise player. He's the one that they're going to build around. He's the
definitely.
one they're going to take.
Yeah.
They're going to try to keep him there for as long as possible. Whether it happen or not, I hope it does because I like.
Yeah, so do I, yeah.
I like him at the Suns.
Yeah.
He fits their system nicely.
I feel like if he goes somewhere else, he becomes a second fiddle.
Yeah,
Like he goes
definitely.
anywhere, like the
Definitely.
Lakers, the State, anywhere like that. He's second fiddle to them
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Bucks, anything.
he needs to be that person that is what's it called? Like everything goes through him.
Yeah, and it does.
Yeah.
At Phoenix, it does.
And
And CP obviously takes
Yeah.
hold of that, but they work together
And
well.
you get Ayton in the middle, like as your big there. He takes a lot of the load.
See, but two things. Number one, Ayton. This next year, he's a.
Yeah, next year he's a
Unrestricted.
He's a restricted free
Oh,
agent
he is
next year.
restricted.
So they just haven't, which is a bit surprising to me because obviously,
I thought he'd gone super
you know,
max.
like who was it? Aaron Gordon got a massive contract. Do you know what I mean with Denver, and then next thing you know, Michael Porter Jr. got signed on a supermax, and it was like
And you're looking as the third one
yeah,
would be.
DeAndre
DeAndre.
Ayton because he's proved to be better than both of them in a sense.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
And-
So it's a weird one to think about.
So he got injured against the Cavs, didn't he? A couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He got a
Yeah.
right legs problem, but
But still though, that he is. I liked him last year. I liked him during their playoff run and
Yeah,
everything.
he was great last year. He was.
But
I feel like when you have a team where not everyone's well known, obviously he's quite well known, but when you have a team that are like not used to being in finals like that. You have the smaller players that will pull up and play well. It's like Tyler Hero in the bubble. He played ridiculously well for someone that was not expected to do anything, and he did it. And he's coming back through again.
From the start of the season, he's coming off that bench. All right, does he deserve a starting place over Duncan Robinson? Probably not.
I think he does.
He's
Not yet.
For me, not right now.
Because this man's put up more points than Duncan Robinson all season. I think.
Yeah, but last season he did fuck all.
Yeah, no, he did. After
He just
he
disappeared.
was so good in bubble, like playoff bubble, finals bubble a lot. I won't forget when he hit that shot and he looked at the camera and snarled. And then the next game, LeBron dunked on him. I will not forget that.
The only thing he was known for is actually that and the Jack Harlow song coming out last
Yeah.
season. That's it. There's nothing else. He just disappeared.
Speaking of rookies and going back to Houston, obviously Jalen Green, my boy,
No, don't even get started.
the sexy man. I love
Yeah,
him.
you already sucked him off in the first episode. Okay,
Mate, that
We're
guy,
gonna do it again.
is fucking
Um,
unreal.
Yeah, like he's great. I mean, dropping the 30 bomb, do you know what I mean? And making history at the franchise for most threes made by a rookie.
Yeah,
He was one off of tying the NBA record, which for me is impressive.
Yeah.
It was a 30.
I mean,
like, he was unreal.
I mean, there is. You look at it though, and after that game, he hasn't been. He's been alright. I wouldn't have gone.
If I'm being
I wouldn't
honest,
have gone. Oh my god, he's the outstanding rookie this year.
Yeah, but then you say that with Melo last year, he didn't perform. We wouldn't say he performed every single game. Don't get me wrong, he
No.
stood out, but
Yeah, but you got.
Everyone has off days.
We've had 7 games already,
yeah.
and he's shot in 1.
He dropped 30. Like you got.
He dropped 30, and I haven't seen him hit near 20.
It was in the third game of the season.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was third game. It could have been fourth. But he went from 9 points, and then next thing you know, he dropped 30, and he was just hitting shot after shot after shot. I was like, this is something that I like.
It's
And
potential.
I tell you another one who I'm a big fan of, Alperen Sengun. I know the
Sengun, yeah.
Turkish
The big
MVP
man.
last year in the Turkish league. Obviously, it's a lot different coming from that league into the NBA. It's
Yeah, Patty Mills has done the same thing.
Yep.
exactly. And Patty Mills has proven to be worth it. Like coming off that Brooklyn bench,
Yeah.
there's nothing that can
I
be better.
guess not touching it too much because obviously that was like the
Yeah,
focus was
exactly.
him, everyone coming over from Australia and
Yeah.
that. But I think with like players coming from these different leagues, I think they bring a bit of physicality that the
They
NBA
do.
doesn't
Yeah.
have.
Oh,
They do.
100%.
I think
They
it's
do,
the best
definitely.
thing there for it. That's why you see Luka and what's it called, Jokic,
Jokic,
wipe the
they're
floor
built-
with it. Obviously,
the way that they're built, like
yeah.
Well, you got to think through week 2, Sengun was 5th in top steals.
and that's with
So,
all players. That's not even just
Yeah,
rookies.
that's not rookies. That is literally every player.
Like,
Yeah.
in terms
And he,
of,
and
in
he
terms
was.
of
I mean, he was free off.
in
Like
terms of
first spot.
in terms of the rookie leaderboard, he's actually leading steals per game. In
Yeah.
terms of rookie leaderboard.
Sorry and welcome back with some technical difficulties outside.
Bloody builders, mate. Fucking
Dickhead
fuck.
builders, bruv. Like, this is an important podcast.
Fucking know we are.
Exactly. But we're back and we're talking about Sengun
Yeah, and trades with
and
involving Houston,
and yeah,
obviously.
their trades and stuff. But I mean, you got to look at Houston as a team that, if they want to rebuild properly, back to the playoffs, go for a title, surely they have to hold on to the likes of
Big players.
big players. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Jalen.
we announced last night that we've activated Kevin Porter Jr.'s 4-year extension.
Yeah,
So he's signed on
Yeah.
for another 4
I mean,
years, thankfully.
Like,
I mean
it's
that's
not-
a start.
If it's not also just signing on to big players, it's about getting that familiarity. You need a NBA team's a family, isn't it? It's a group of
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what,
Yeah.
15, 20 people where everyone is like tight knit. If you haven't got that connection with each other, they won't play well.
No,
No matter
exactly.
how good you are.
And I think that was the issue when at the start of last season where we brought in John Wall and he was playing, and DeMarcus Cousins. We had him for a fair few games, and then Harden and Cousins had a bit of a falling out, and Cousins turned around and said it's fine, I didn't want to play with you anyway. Hence why Harden started putting the weight on, didn't turn up to training, he was too
Just
busy at the
not
strip
bothered.
clubs.
Going to
and-
strip club
yeah, he was in strip clubs and everything, do you know what I mean? And
Us on a Saturday.
that is us. us in the good old and mighty embassy.
Never see, love to see it.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it, that's
and
it.
in the end, obviously,
Let's not straw away. Let's go on to NBA.
in
things,
the end,
lads.
he forced his move away, didn't he? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's worked out okay for him. He's doing it right there at the minute, but you know, I mean, only time will tell. So.
I mean, as well, you look at with the big teams, Bucks, Lakers, you have that franchise player that
yeah, like Lakers.
that I
is-
could go. I could literally just walk down the road and go, who's Lakers? Like, who do you know from the Lakers? LeBron.
LeBron is straight
They're
away.
going to say LeBron. It's the
Exactly,
same
but
way.
it's a franchise player.
As I'm going to say, there's so many times you can say, oh, everyone has a franchise player, you need one. Yeah, because you do. That's what makes an NBA team big. That's what brings the money in that you can then pay for the contracts of these different players
Exactly.
and build your team.
Yeah, definitely.
But like from week 2, even then, I wouldn't say that anyone. I wouldn't even say franchise players been really standing out in the steals front anyway. I'd say Paul George has been carrying the Clippers because
Yep.
Kawhi's still on the surgery table.
Yeah,
He
the
is.
only-
He's
the only
laying- he's
issue
laying
I
down.
have- Yeah, no, he's all like Kawhi's okay. I think he might be back for. I want to say for the playoffs, but even if he is back for the playoffs, he's not going to be himself because he's had barely game time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He still could be out for the whole season. I'm not too sure.
The rehab is going to be mad on that guy.
But like
Yeah,
you got to
it's
think
gotta-
like Paul George just stepped into that role of being that big name. Now.
Is he
Like,
good enough though?
This is the thing.
No.
Like, you know,
No.
in the bubble, he was pandemic Paul, weren't he? He was pandemic P, and that he was bricking every shot. He wasn't hitting. He wasn't doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, after pandemic, you know, we're back again.
Yeah.
He's come away.
I think
weird.
because you look at it like this though, is that Kawhi's not there now to be that big man. So he's had to step up. He has had to.
Well,
Otherwise, Clippers are 0. Clippers are 0-7. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
as I'll say though,
They won last night, didn't they?
I remember watching something
I
in.
think so.
I remember I watched a documentary about depth perception with like NBA and obviously like the way they shoot the hoop and stuff like that, how far it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, when they're in a massive stadium, there's a massive crowd behind them. It's a certain thing's a mental thing of
Yeah.
it makes it look like
Yeah,
it's
it
further
is.
than it actually is. And they were in a gym for the bubble. It wasn't. It was a makeshift stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
no,
not.
It wasn't an actual stadium,
Yeah.
so it wasn't
And
an
I think
arena.
having to go from an arena where with 90,000 people in there to having just playing in a thing where you can hear the ball bouncing and hear
Yeah.
everyone shouting, "Oi, you get over there!" and shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna change the way you play basketball, no matter how good you are.
No, definitely.
Oh,
No matter if we just got
I mean, no one has ever played like that before.
Nah,
You've always had
they
them fans there
Yeah.
behind the hoop.
Yeah, they
then-
had it tough that year. They
Yeah,
did.
they did.
But no,
Moving on. I'd say move on.
week
Yeah.
2.
So I was going to talk about Carmelo Anthony,
Oh, good
who has had a good week.
He has
too.
a good
He's
week
had a
too,
good week
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Get a good week. He's had a sensational.
He's been
opening
carrying,
season.
man.
He's been.
Like we said about the franchise player being Bron. All right, Melo's not going to be that franchise player, but he's filling that role right now, and he's coming off the bench.
Sixth man.
There's issues there that the
Massive,
Lakers
man.
aren't telling for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because why is Anthony Davis not doing what he was doing in the opening week? You know, why is LeBron not putting up these 30
have you seen
I
points?
the
don't,
stats?
I don't think you can say that because AD's third in blocks this week.
I'm gonna say something.
That's that.
Best third in blocks.
Let me say something.
For a
though.
defensive man,
No,
third in blocks.
but Cam, look, if you watch the last 3 games, he's fallen down and hurt himself, and everyone's like looking really worried, like he's been lying on the floor, and I've just been there like, if he's gonna be injured and look like this all the time, what is the fucking point of him starting and thinking? You might as well put your energy into Carmelo and Bron.
Honestly, yeah.
No, but the thing is, right, is with AD, he's a big man. He's gonna get bullied about. He's gonna. I know you can be big.
He should be bullying people, not getting bullied.
Yeah, no, but it's both though. It goes both ways.
Yeah,
Because
I know
if
it
he's going up, if he's leading for that charge for the rebound, then the other person's going to take him out.
The way I look at it, the reason why I say he ain't been popping, I'm going back to Sunday night of when Houston did play Lakers, okay? All right. You look at Christian Wood's stat line. He had 16 points, 13 rebounds, yeah? I look at Anthony Davis' stat line. 16 points, 13 rebounds. What is that telling me there?
Franchise player versus.
What that's telling me is that LeBron had 15 and 7 and 8, all right? I look at that again. Kevin Porter Jr. had 13, 9 and 4. I go to Houston's bench. Eric Gordon come off the bench with 17. Go to the Lakers bench. Melo's come out with 23 off the bench. So there's issues there that the Lakers aren't telling us.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, they're not going to come out and say, "Oh, this is that,
But-
that's that." Do you know what I mean?
But I'll be honest, right? You're talking about AD in that way. Well, the man still had 13 rebounds,
and 16 points.
16 points.
But he is a.
But Christian Wood had that exact same stat line.
Yeah, but Christian Wood, I really respect. I think he's actually quite a little bit of a
I love him,
baller.
but if you're going to have that big of a name on Anthony Davis, like he's a big man,
But then-
we get he's an all-star, we get he could be a future MVP candidate, a future franchise player. Fair enough. But when he's having that exact same stat line as someone like Christian Wood, who I absolutely love,
but
Bro,
then
he's,
Matt-
not a,
but
he's
then-
not a rookie anymore. He should
No.
be putting up performing.
That's what
Where is LeBron? Look
Yeah.
at he's the same age as Bron when he was at Miami. He might have been a tiny bit younger. He's a tiny bit younger. But look at LeBron when he was putting up those stats, MVP worthy things. At his age, he should be there controlling the team. He's looking like a fucking I don't even know, like a
but-
Kuzma.
I don't think you
Fucking
can.
hate Kuzma.
I've never got. I remember from last week. Respect him highly. 5 seconds later,
yeah, he's a
wash
wash
baller,
baller.
wash baller, wash
No,
baller.
but in the bubble, he was respected. Now, I think he's a wash baller. That's the difference. I'm not saying he is one now.
He should be.
Let's say he's
He
one
should
now.
be with the Shanghai Sharks. If I'm being honest with you.
But no, we'll continue to who Melo. I think Melo needs more of a shout out than just a little mention.
No, yeah.
Melo needs.
He
a
has
big
Melo.
shout
carried
out.
the Lakers this week.
Melo this week and first week.
They should be 5 and they should be what's it called 0-7. That's the way they've played. If you watch some of
I
their
mean,
games, they
yeah.
look awful. They look dreadful.
They
mate.
haven't looked like that playoff team. They haven't looked like that championship contender.
No.
All right, we're not that many games into the season. I completely understand that. But when you have that high of a caliber team sitting there on that roster,
Your depth should be
and,
decent
and
enough.
you've got a coach that knows how to run offense and knows how to play defense, I'm expecting blowouts. I'm expecting 30-point games
I mean,
from Bron, from AD.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. You're slating off AD a lot, but Bron hasn't. I've looked at Bron this year and not
No,
seen
I haven't been impressed.
like the Bron that we all know.
Yeah, bro, but he is 38. But I think if
Yeah,
you stay in the
cool.
league, you've still got to perform. I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm contradicting
Without
myself by
doubt.
saying
Without
that.
And,
Yeah.
and it's not
Without
like
doubt.
he's coming off the bench. He's starting.
Yes. No. We're
it's not-
talking like he's some washed up baller here.
No, yeah, no, of course
he
not.
is. He is still one of the best, not the best in the league, but he's in the top 5 easily right now, or maybe right now.
Yeah.
But in this, he should be.
I say right now he is within the top 5 too.
No, of course not. No, but
Like, but if you look at Bron in that way,
he's got that magic.
and if you're slating AD for what he's doing so far, well, at least AD put up points in the first week. He put up points. He put up rebounds. And this week,
that opening night, they both put up 30, like 34, 35.
yeah. But what I'm saying is AD done it consistently for the first week.
Yeah.
He's dropped off a little bit second week, and we're sort of
Bron's
putting
been,
him
yeah,
down.
Bron's been inconsistent. Bron has been inconsistent.
Yeah, I've seen what, like I said. So the first game where he put up 30,
Yeah.
and then I haven't been like since then been like, Bron's done it again.
Yeah, no,
And again.
he's been inconsistent, and I think this is the issue with
I
the
think
Lakers.
also we are a 10% of the way into the season. I think you need to let someone like Bron, who's is very injured for half of the last season. I think you need to let him get his touch back.
Yeah.
And I know it's LeBron and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
expect, flashing lights, but he will be back at his best. And I'll tell you, my prediction for week 3 is that he is going to come through and pull through, and everyone's going to be there. We're going to be here next week going, lads, we need to shut the fuck up about this guy.
I mean,
Yeah.
talking about controversy and teams in a bit of disarray. The
Boston
Boston
Celtics.
The
Yes.
Celtics, yeah, I saw it come out.
Anyone see what happened last night?
Well, I
With,
mean, they blew a 14-point lead and then they lost by 14.
Exactly.
And I'm going to give a massive, massive shout to DeRozan right now.
Mate,
37
DeMar
points.
DeRozan.
He led the Bulls charge back last night from going 14 down. And Zach LaVine shot awful last night. He shot horrendous. I remember last night.
Everyone has off nights, though.
No, but me and him were sitting there.
We sat there last night. I looked at the box score. I went, Zach shot this percent, and this was like in the third quarter. And then after the game, he went, "Yeah, put some respect on it, David." Ended up with 20 something. I went, "Yeah, that's fair enough."
I went, you're dissing him
he
that
shot
much.
under 50% last night, and
Yeah,
it's
but-
not like him. It's lucky DeRozan was there because otherwise it could have been a blowout.
It could have, but yeah, I mean, DeMar DeRozan put up 37.
Yeah, but the thing we raved about with the Bulls was that they have such diversity in their team. They've got 3 or 4 shooters.
So
in
that's what
there.
we said. That's what we said. Because one player has a shit game.
Yeah,
And someone else can pull
Then
through.
you've got
Yeah,
DeRozan. You've
yeah.
got Levine.
yeah.
And you got Lonzo.
You got Caruso coming off the bench.
You say that.
You got Caruso.
You
off the
say that
bench.
Zach still put up 26 points.
That's what I mean. Like at the time, he was like he had that.
And he had 7 assists as well.
Exactly.
He's still providing
He
stuff.
he still played his part. It's just
And,
I looked at that percentage. I was like, nah.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes me rate people. If you're having a bad night at shooting or
But
passing,
you're still going to carry that
you
load.
can in another different lane. You can
Yeah.
then pick up and then become better. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to find that. That's what makes a better. That's the difference between an NBA, a regular player, and an above average.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, it ended like 30. Like in the last quarter, it was like 39-11 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was their comeback.
Their run was unreal.
Their run was something else. But
We did say they lost Kemba Walker. They lost that team player.
They lost Kemba.
And they never-
They get so Kemba. is obviously at the Knicks now. He's doing his part.
With D Rose.
You know, obviously D Rose off the bench is it's a big thing for them still.
Yeah.
But Kemba coming into New York, he's obviously back home in New York where he's from.
Yeah.
He's a fan favourite already because he's grew up in New York, so they love him. But he's carrying that load there. The Celtics also had Evan Fournier towards the end, the tail end of the season.
Yeah.
Where is he now? He's on the Knicks as well.
I'm telling you, Knicks have started off well as well.
They have
5-1.
It's just been bad business
they
from
lost last
the
night,
Celtics, if I'm being honest.
Well, but like the thing is who come out? Was it Marcus Smart? wasn't
Marcus
it?
Smart, yeah.
He come out last night and he just said, "I want to play basketball," because he said because all we're doing is trying to force it to Tatum.
Yeah.
Or
Because obviously
Jalen.
teams are good. Like
Have you showed me the article on the trainers today?
exactly.
Yeah.
all of the teams are studying Boston. They're swinging it to Tatum to cut inside, or swinging it to Jalen to like shoot, or either way round. Jalen cuts, Tatum shoots, and when they start doubling, they don't pass the ball. And this is what Marcus Smart was saying: is he just wants to play basketball. He just wants the ball in his hand sometimes. And I'm starting to think if he's coming out to say that, what's going on in the locker room?
Oh, there's obviously turmoil.
I reckon today has been a bit of a
very sticky
very,
one.
very awkward one.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Especially when your mate outs you or teammate outs you on a news outlet and it comes up.
Well, the
shows
thing is, it wasn't a report. It was literally him in an interview saying it.
Yeah.
It's not like oh, he's feeling this.
Yeah,
He's come out and gone, I can't play basketball because we've been told to force it to Tatum or Jalen.
And I think what's more upsetting is them three coming to the league at the same time, more or less.
Yeah,
they were basically a year apart of each other. So they've obviously had that bond since they've been in the league. And all right, we're seeing Tatum and Jalen, more Tatum going into this superstar. I don't think Jalen Brown's going to reach that level.
No, he'll be a good team player.
Yeah, Jalen Brown's always going to be an all-star in the future.
Oh, definitely.
I can see Tatum. I can see Tatum
well.
reaching that superstar level though. If he keeps that.
But everyone said that, didn't they? Kobe said it.
Yeah.
Kobe seems to have said every single superstar the last 10 years.
Yeah.
This guy, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, well, that's it.
I'll say R.I.P. to Kobe, obviously.
Rest in peace to the team.
Rest of the man.
But you know.
But no, I feel like Tatum could be good, but I think the way Celtics are going,
something's got to change.
It's either they change coach or the coach has to change his play style.
But then someone that's so stuck in that,
or they cut the coach, they make a big cut, and restart.
See, because what it was
with your boys of Jalen, Tatum.
Obviously, Celtics legend Danny Ainge had quite a big role within Boston, and he stepped down from that during the off season. Brad Stevens, who was head coach, obviously, for like the past 5 years, whatever it was, he took Danny Ainge's place, and I forget the coach's name now. It's like Ideme Uke or something like that. I could be pronouncing it completely wrong. He's now that head coach, and for me, I'm just not seeing the Boston play style.
But neither.
But I'm seeing this now. We started the NBA season 2 weeks in now, and it's happened with the Lakers. There was turmoil there, people fighting. Yeah, it's happening again.
Yeah, Dwight Howard,
what the fuck is this? It seems like there are prima donnas that won't understand that basketball is not an individual sport. You've got to get on with your team. You've got to get on with your team.
It's all right having those individual superstars that are going to help you perform, but it is about that whole team, that whole team gelling and having to play as one family.
But I'll just to finish up on that, I'd say we look when you look at the teams of the we'd have thought would have had fights, would have been the Lakers because they're big egos. I would not have thought
the Celtics,
that the Celtics would be an issue.
You say this though, but the Lakers and the Celtics have both got they've both won the same amount of championships now. Do you know what I mean? They've both won 17 championships. So they're obviously two teams that are obviously like, okay,
dripped in history.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying like player wise.
Oh, so it's player wise, yeah.
I wouldn't look at, because I can see Lakers with like, okay, you got AD, you got Dwight Howard, you got LeBron, you got all these big mega superstars, all could clash. But I'm looking at a Boston team that's got Tatum and Jalen Brown,
who have potential to become those superstars,
as their main Donnies.
I would claim that only Jason Tatum really can claim that or that even he's on the way to that. That's what Jack said earlier. But I feel,
Jaylen Brown will always be an all-star.
Yeah.
Tatum will be the superstar, though. He is what Boston are trying to build around, which is respectful. But I don't know. For me, Boston are a bit of disarray, and something needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, we'll move on.
yeah,
We'll talk about.
lovely little Boston rant there.
We will, because reading it on the train this morning.
Was interesting, to be fair.
It was very
Hear what they had to
interesting.
say.
I mean, I saw it last night, and I think I pulled you.
Yeah,
up
you
on it,
pulled me
Cam,
up on
yeah.
it.
I pulled you up on it.
I read it more on the train
Yeah.
down here, and it was a bit of a.
It's a bit of a shock.
It's something you've got to talk about and just see what kind of different view you can have on it, really. But what we're saying, moving on.
I mean, so we're moving on to the sixth man. I know we touched on it last week.
But I feel like it's good to go through each week and just see where if your predictions have changed at all, you think that someone else has come surprised you a bit.
Like mix it up. So 1 week it'll be sixth, next week MVP,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then another week rookie or whatever. You know?
Yeah, whatever we fancy, whatever the fans want, to be honest.
Exactly,
definitely.
and it depends how you flow as well. But so, who is everyone's sixth man first of all? Because Jack, you couldn't have your say last
no.
week.
So I mean, I know we said we'll do like it week by week. We'll go over everything. I'm just going to give my season predictions because
We didn't hear it.
yeah,
I
to be fair,
couldn't
yeah,
give my
yeah.
season predictions last week, obviously. So for me, my MVP this season is actually going to be Giannis again. Only,
Really?
Again.
Okay.
Really?
Only because I think you touched on it last week, Joe. He's shooting better. I think Cam, you said the 5-second free throw now, and he's sinking them. He's becoming that more well-rounded, all like superstar player. And he's not just that slasher now that's going to drive to the rim and dunk on someone and all of that. He's got that versatility. And now, if you're going to call a pick and fade, he's going to fade to that three, and people are going to look at him like defenders are going to go, "Yeah, you're not going to shoot it because you can't
just
shoot.
stand off him now.
You
Yeah,
can't,
No,
because
this man
you're gonna
has
think
everything.
you got to think like that's it. He can do everything now.
Yeah.
Does he take him to a final again?
I don't think he takes them. I think with a healthy Drew Holiday and a very, very, very talented Chris Middleton this season.
Yeah.
Chris is very talented as it is. We know this.
He needs to be consistent.
The consistency, and he needs to obviously prove that scoring. For me, rookie, it'd be weird. It'd be with me to not say Jalen Green. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we all said it. We all said it.
He's my H-Town boo, obviously. But
Oh, that was a bit sus, that.
it's a little bit Jalen. I mean, you know.
Very, very, very sus.
But apart from Jalen Green, I've got to mention Scotty Barnes, the Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, good shout.
You know what?
Good shout.
When Toronto took that fourth pick, because it was obviously Cade went first. Obviously he played his first game the other night as well. Not the best stat line, but he's been injured. He's on a minute restriction. I'm not expecting anything too crazy.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
recovering, come back slowly but surely.
Exactly. And then obviously Jalen went second to Houston. I was more than happy. Evan Mobley went third to the Cavs. Great pickup. Only issue I got is the Cavs got too many bigs, so he's going to struggle. He's playing the 4 role right now. He'll fit in nicely. He'll be up there with rookie in a few weeks to come. And obviously Scotty Barnes went fourth in the draft, and that was a shock because everybody thought it was Jalen Suggs that was going fourth. And to be fair, he hasn't been that great. So for me, my top 3 rookies, if I'm being honest with you, I haven't really got an order right now. It's going to be Jalen, Scotty, and Evan.
I'm going to say, special mention. Who was it that died? He died in a car crash. He was going to be like.
I forget his name.
He was top prospect.
He was tipped highly.
Was he number 1? I know they did an honorary draft pick for him. And his family went to it, but I don't know who was.
I think he was like 1 or 2. It was like
he
meant
was
to
up
be.
there.
Because there was 1 year. It was a couple of years.
It was this year. He died last year, didn't he?
There was I'm on. I know you're on about. I forget his name, but
I'm trying to have a look.
Yeah, no. It was like the NBA selected him. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame. Obviously,
it is such a shame because he was
talented.
tipped very highly.
So if you watch his highlights on YouTube,
Yeah,
he looked ridiculous. And a player like that, it's hard to like compare him to someone because he didn't play like. I'm trying to find his name. I feel bad for just saying him.
yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Terrence Clark, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Terrence Clark, Kentucky Wildcats player.
Yes. He was big.
Because he was tipped for 1 or 2, weren't he?
Yeah, he was a guard.
Yeah, he was
That was
he
it.
was a top. He was projected top 3.
And I think just touch upon him and think like how different my draft thing. I think I would have had him as maybe he could have pushed
Yeah.
for the rookie of the year. Obviously,
Definitely.
you don't have a
obviously.
step. But I
Exactly.
think,
You don't know because he could have come into the league
Exactly.
Yeah.
and
Do you know
been
I
what
mean?
Kay's done already.
Yeah, but I
Whereas
think to
not
mention-
started as
yeah.
obviously he only played one
Th-
game.
This is the thing.
but I think to mention Terence, obviously,
Yeah, of course.
that potential that was lost.
Of
You
course.
just got to
Yeah.
just got to sort of think
And
about it. Yeah.
I think you can say about Terence, it's the same thing about Zion last year. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I respect Zion highly. I know he's got a lot of talent. You went first in the draft. There's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. That's fair enough. All right, he missed. Sorry, not last season, season before. All right, he missed so much of that season because of injury.
Yeah.
He played last season.
It's overweight.
What did he really do last season?
Yeah.
that wowed me?
And I'll be honest,
Nothing.
I'll be
and
honest.
he's injured again now.
Yeah, Zion.
And Brandon Ingram's had enough. I can see that. I'm watching Brandon Ingram play, and I can see he's had enough.
He's
You know
putting
what I
up points though.
mean? He is.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. When Zion played last season, great. Do you know what I mean? They combine nicely. But he didn't wow me last season. I watched him in the All-Star game, and I thought, you're not All-Star ready.
He's in there because of his name. Bro, he got given a Jordan sneaker. D-Book doesn't even have a, what's it called? Hasn't even have a signature shoe with Nike yet. What the fuck's that about? I'm fuming. But I wouldn't wear it.
Anything that happens with D-Book in a bad way, he's just going to lose
I'm
his
on
head.
it, bro. But no, I understand the Zion thing. I think there's overhype. It was high school. It was him seeing some 6'8" dude, body people, and I was just
Yeah,
there
they
like,
were-
what the fuck is going on here? Why is there so much people and everyone?
He was
But-
pulling windmills out, the 360s, the East Bays,
At
everything.
16, bro.
Yeah, it
What
was
is that?
crazy. Like it was like
I can't even
wow.
jump 8 foot. No,
And then I think my sixth man.
oh yeah,
There's a lot of contenders.
it's got to be the bald eagle. Bald eagle, come on.
The
Caruso.
Caruso.
Yeah, he's up there. Melo's obviously up there after watching the past couple of weeks.
It'll be them two.
Believe it or not, Derek Rose has a sniff this year. He had a sniff last year. It's just tailed off towards the end of the season.
Do you think that comes with playing for someone like New York, though? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
I think when you're playing and you're of that standard, that MVP standard that he was, I know 10 odd years ago, but seeing yourself drop off that much, I think would demotivate me playing with a team with New York when he's gone from being part of the Bulls team that was ridiculous even 10 years ago to now playing in a New York team that has Kemba.
I mean, you got to
Who
think
else?
he was in a worse position before the Knicks. He was with Detroit.
I forget that with the Pistons.
He was with Detroit. He was in such a bad place, and since his injury, he hasn't been the same player. I can't remember the last time I saw this man go out for a dunk.
Yeah, but he's just scared of it. His knee, didn't he?
Yeah, he done
his
his ACL.
ACL.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, you're talking about New York as if they're like shit.
They are shit. Don't.
But hang on, right? They're not doing the worst.
But
I know it'll probably tail off.
I've not rated the New York since I watched The Last Dance when they said about how they used to play bully ball, and when I went back and watched their highlights from the late '90s, mid '90s, when MJ was still playing. That's when I thought, bloody hell, this is sick. But then the NBA isn't played like that anymore, and I miss the physicality. I hate. It's like Durant. I was telling you, I was feeling about this Durant second flagrant foul last night against. No, not last night, night before.
Yeah,
because Harden got his first triple double of the season,
and he pushed him barely, and he just flew back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he got ejected for that. I was just like, why is that? Like, what is this? It's just changed. The game's changing, and I'm not sure I like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. So your sixth man is?
Oh, yeah.
Right now, if we're talking, if I was to give it last week, I would have said Caruso. Right now, it is going to be Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, it's Melo's winning.
Yeah, Melo's won our second week, I think. Second week player.
Second week player has to be
player
Melo.
of the week
I give him player of the week. It's Melo, definitely.
I think so as well.
Someone else that deserves, maybe not player of the week, deserves a slight mention after their performance last night. OG Anunoby.
Oh, the English
British
boy.
MVP.
The British MVP.
This man is something else, and he put up 36 last night.
Yeah.
And this is
Everyone's raving about it. All my Twitter was blowing up this morning going on about him.
He is something else.
He is.
He and this is without they won last night without Scotty Barnes, and this is my thing. If OG can pull through like that,
that's another
and then
rock player.
And when Scotty Barnes is playing with him,
Tell you what, it's a lethal duo.
This
That
is the
is
thing.
underrated because you wouldn't expect it.
No,
You
Because
wouldn't.
I'd not heard of it. I remember watching Flight react to when in the bubble when OG, I'm gonna say OG, I can't say the whole name.
Anunoby,
When he hit that dagger, as it's to it's to
Again,
win, it's
it
the
was
level.
against Boston, yeah.
Yeah, in the bubble. And I
It
was
was literally like point three. Literally caught it and just threw it. It was unbelievable.
and he was like, "Who is this nobody?" I was just there like cruising. I was like,
bro, that is gonna be a British MVP. He will be the first British MVP.
then I found out he's British. I found out when he's British. Obviously, after he hit that 3 point, I
Yeah.
was just like, "Come on!" You don't see it. You do. British ballers, there's not many.
He does not.
very
There is
scarce.
not many in the
It's highly
NBA.
scarce.
Do you know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. He's looking good.
He is, yeah.
He's looking very good. After last night, I was like,
Yeah, he's looking
all
nice.
right, see you.
I see you. I see you.
I can't remember if you lot touched on the DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year last week.
Oh, we didn't actually.
Missed that.
And-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is an interesting one because I know from pre-season, I looked at Mo Bamba and I was like, yeah, this is his breakout. Oh my God, was I fucking wrong?
Shaq West was right.
I was so wrong.
Well, I mean, he had fifth. He was fifth,
it don't
he's fifth
matter.
in blocks this week.
Yeah, it's fourth in blocks, but you got to think pre-season he was getting monster rebounds, monster blocks.
Oh, no.
the
Yeah,
lot.
this is pre-season, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can
Yeah,
never.
I thought he might carry that form
Oh
through.
yeah, but
because
I think that I see pre-season as it's like when you watch it in football or any sport. No one really tries.
No.
No.
Obviously, they're getting a warm up. They're getting time in their legs, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
I think like the real players will obviously still try, but that you won't see their real magic until it's the season, and that's when you see him drop off. My Bamba drop off. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good prediction, but I feel like you'll see them drop off, and the better players will come through with that
I think
skill.
as well with pre-season as well, there weren't a lot of star-studded players.
The big names didn't.
The
play
big
until,
names
like, the
weren't
third
really
game.
playing. They played 1 or 2 games at the end.
Yeah,
It wasn't like they played like a full 4 or 5.
and just touching on Magic quickly, I'm not on about the Orlando Magic. I'm on about a little bit of Luka Doncic magic.
Oh,
Right, I don't.
I don't think he's seen it.
So last night I watched.
He hasn't
Me
seen
and
it.
Cam had the OKC and Clippers game on, and obviously half time come up, and we watched the top 10 plays of the night.
Yeah.
Now, Luka, or it might have been top 10 plays of the week so far. Now, Luka had the ball knocked away from him. This is when they played Sacramento, and obviously we know Sacramento have got Davion Mitchell, who's already been given the name Off Night.
Yeah.
He held Dame to under 20 points. He held Donovan Mitchell to under 20. CJ McCollum to under 20.
Yeah.
He couldn't
He
contain Luka.
did hold Luka
unfortunately.
though. Not my boy.
The ball got knocked away.
All
All right.
My
There's
Luka.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. This man picks it back up, dribbles across from the logo and pulls up and sinks it. There was no backboard. There was nothing. It was just clean swish. It was nothing but net. It was wet like water. And honestly, it was. And
Filth.
he was very close to getting his first triple double of the season as well.
You say that though, that then they get rinsed by the Denver Nuggets.
They do. They do.
He pulled in 16.6 rebounds, 4 assists,
This is the thing. So
and that's
I'm
I think someone that is being pegged as MVP material.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Should-
he hasn't had the start.
He hasn't had the greatest start.
No,
but
he hasn't. No, and he should
He,
be.
he's had probably. I was chatting to Jack about it earlier, like last week, and I said, I'm tipping him for MVP. I know I'm biased because I love Luka, and Dallas is my team.
Yeah.
But I looked at Luka last year, and I went, this is the season where he was amazing last year,
Yeah.
but he pushes to that next level.
But he had no. I'm going to put it this way. He had. Obviously, he was known. Don't get me wrong. I think when you're younger, you have no pressure on you. But when you've been given all these accolades of was reckoning he's going to push on this year, it puts that pressure mentally on you. Someone
Yeah.
that's performing at that level to then go above that.
But then
I'm saying.
I know it doesn't mean a lot,
No,
but you look at the Olympics when he played in the Olympics.
different style of basketball. To be
I know
fair.
it's a different style.
No. I'm saying it'll bring depth to his game.
Yeah,
If you're playing
it
against
does.
all these European teams,
Yeah.
I know he played with them when he was younger, but to go back and revisit that, I think it gives his game maybe another delve to it. But then also he could still be tired from it.
But then I was looking at it, I was thinking if he's just dragged Slovenia to third
Yeah.
in the Olympics. I don't know who they lose. They didn't lose to US.
Don't know.
France, it was France, weren't it? And Evan Fournier put up like a triple double or something.
That was the final. Yeah, it was America, France final. It might have been Spain. I can't quite remember.
No, I'm talking semi final.
Oh, semis.
The semis was France,
I think
wasn't
it
it?
was France because
Yeah.
Luca had a triple double that night.
And I think so did Fournier.
No, Fournier didn't. Luca's the first player to. I could be completely wrong. I think he was the first player to actually in Olympic history to have that stat line that he had.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Oh, fair enough.
I didn't watch the Olympic basketball. I think it's shit. But okay.
No, it's not very.
I mean, it is a
I
shit
think-
level.
Realistically, the
It's
only,
not
the
the
only
same.
basketball I watch is literally NBA, college. Sometimes when there's
Yeah.
no NBA on, I'll watch a bit of college.
Yeah.
College ball's good though.
Obviously, watch Bronny. Got to watch Bronny.
Yeah.
Oh, I did stop mentioning that kid because I'm putting too much pressure on him already. He's already got too much pressure on him. Look who his dad is.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, who else? I didn't know any other things to bring up.
Yeah. I thought I was going to talk about
The
just the
defensive
roundup
yeah.
of week two,
Oh,
really.
of course, yeah.
And,
As a whole.
Well, I mean, where else to start rather than points?
Yeah.
And you had Jai and Steph
Ja
lead the
Morant.
way.
Tell you what, Ja Morant, you know, this
Ja Morant
year,
is-
you know,
This is where he pushes further.
this is where he gets away from Grizzlies and he goes
Exactly.
somewhere.
I hope so. I honestly, I mean, if we're gonna start in points, all right. Throughout the week, Durant led the points in 194.
Yeah.
Giannis was second on 191. AD, I know I've slated him earlier on. He was third with 173. Miles Bridges, I've got to put respect on his name at the minute. He's popping.
He's popped.
172. Steph 172. Ja 172. If I'm looking points per game throughout, like since the season, like throughout the week, Steph and Ja both averaging 28.7.
I saw that. I was on a look on the stat
Yeah.
thing earlier on the train.
And then
It's quite
KD's 27.7, Paul George 27.6, and Giannis 27.3.
Fair. I wouldn't say anyone surprised me there except from Ja. I don't think anyone else surprised me that they should be up there.
I mean,
No.
I'm getting to a point now where I'm looking at Jar and going, I can see you there. And
Franchise.
it's
I can see him being a
not
franchise.
out of the ordinary.
Nah, I don't. I remember when he first got drafted. I knew this. You know, when they had that superstar. They had that superstar look to them.
Yeah.
Like players.
Yeah.
He had that, and I think it agrees with obviously Luca and that. But then I'm seeing Ja doing more than Luca at the moment.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
Right now he is, yeah.
Right
Definitely.
now, he's like Luca's just a fucking ghost.
Yeah, but
I know
think
he pulled up his first triple double nearly, but he is a ghost.
Keyword nearly.
Yeah, exactly, nearly.
But no, I feel like the Lakers look like they've now this week seem like they've gained sort of a standpoint. I don't
wouldn't say
wanna-
that.
You don't think so? I feel like them getting a few wins on their belt will give them the confidence to push on.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at the Houston game.
beating Houston. No,
I mean, Houston.
Yeah, but then
no
again-
offense to you, Jackman, but Houston ain't the best at the moment.
Underrating
telling me.
people.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. that It's not.
And you're only winning by 10.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
Utah blew them up by 30.
Yeah, as I'm gonna say now, I think it was like the problem with the Lakers is they seem to only turn up for their big games.
Yeah.
Where they play against the
Yeah.
Clippers and the Golden States and the
Yeah,
Brooklyn Nets and the Celtics, and there's not. I feel like there's a couple of teams in the NBA here who are just literally pushed to the side and think, oh, we'll batter you with our second team,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they won't do. And I think that's the issue. That's what I like about the NBA is competitiveness. Anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah. I'm literally looking through games and going, Bucks shouldn't be losing this.
No.
Nah, definitely not.
And yet they're, speaking of the Utah, Rudy Gobert,
In rebounds,
rebounds.
Rebounds.
103 leading it.
And he got 17, he's like 17 points,
No, he's averaging 17.
yeah.
I think a game. And if I'm
I think he's not talked about enough.
But I think it's just the team
Debatable.
Utah Jazz. Who the hell's
Yeah.
that?
it's debatable saying he's not
Bro,
talked about enough.
you're saying who the hell's that?
So it's
They're up
the
there.
same team that blew Houston out by 31.
No, but not even looking at it like that, but they're 5-1,
Yeah,
5-2 now.
5-3.
They
5-2.
lose? No, it's 5-2 or 5-1.
I think they're still 5-1.
They're 5-1.
I think so.
Yeah, they're 5-1.
Chicago.
So-
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up.
Put some respect.
Chicago.
On
now-
Gobert.
on
I
Utah.
will. I will.
Chicago now 6-1 because they won last
Yeah,
night.
look, we said
Yeah.
this last week. Obviously, not to. I don't want to repeat ourselves, but the Chicago are the team that will shock a lot of people this year, and I feel like
I wouldn't say
Keep
shock.
When they
no,
went,
they do though, because it's Chicago. When have Chicago last been good? Like
Yeah,
properly
but,
good.
but
I
I looked
can
at them.
tell
I
you
looked
that.
at them. I know we've been saying that pre-season doesn't really count, but I looked at them in pre-season. I was like, you know what? this is a team that could do damage.
They're a special team.
And we said this last week, and I feel like they're just proving us right.
Like,
And I feel like they continue to do that until they lose.
yeah.
I would like to see them lose. No, I don't. Sorry, I'd like to see them lose someone and still do it.
Yeah,
I don't want them
yeah,
to
yeah,
actually someone
yeah.
to get injured. No, you don't wish that on anyone.
mean, when they went 4-0, when they were 4-0, the last Chicago team to do that, funny enough, was the 96-97 Bulls, and that's with Jordan, Pip, and Rodman. This is
arguably the best team ever to play basketball.
Yeah, without a doubt. They are a very special group.
I mean, we're not. Let's just put a disclaimer there. We're not comparing them to that.
No,
Okay.
saying that's what they've done.
No, because Zach Levine's definitely Jordan Reed.
Oh, of course he is, bro. Of course he is.
But
We can, yeah. I mean, they're looking good.
They're a special group.
They are. And I mean, to end it off, I mean, anyone else got anything to say?
I would say I like the City jerseys. I would say put in the comment section what one you would wear. Personally, I think it's got to be, for me, I was showing everyone on the train, the Atlanta Hawks one. I'll pop it up in the video.
I don't like it.
You don't like with the Hawk across it?
Nah.
See, the ones that are my favourite, obviously, I love the Houston one, obviously, for obvious reasons.
He said Toronto. Cam said Toronto, and I was fuming.
I like the Toronto one.
They've done it. They've already done it.
Yeah, but it still looks
They did
lame.
it with the purple and the white. This is black and gold.
It was OVO things. They just copy. They keep doing.
Yeah, but
Drake's
that's
thing.
great. But it still looks lame.
If not the Hawks, the Clippers have actually got a really nice
Spurs
one.
have got a nice one. You see, he's got like a bit, but he's like yellow and something.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think what it is.
He goes to me on the train. He goes, "It's nice, but fuck him." He's like, "Nice, but fuck him. I hate him."
I hate the Spurs, but I generally do. But I don't even know why I hate them. I just think they're jarring.
Yeah,
I just feel like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah.
Like, you disappeared. Like, what, 10 years ago you were balling.
Yeah.
They'll win everything.
With Timmy and Tony and Ginobili in it. But
I mean, I've just seen something. So you know, talking about Chris.
Chris,
It's turned
Mids.
Chris Middleton, yeah.
Yeah.
He said to enter the league's health and safety protocols.
So did Kevin Love, actually. He's got to miss several games. They
Kevin
said.
Love
You know
and,
what?
and Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
you know, I knew about Harris. I completely forgot Kevin Love still played basketball.
It's fair. No, I just see him as LeBron James's big man from Moscow, from the Cavs. That's all I know him for.
Because I know they were trying. I know he wanted to move back to with LeBron. He was trying to force his move to the Lakers, and then the Cavs just didn't have it. And in the end, they said, "There's your contract. You sign it, or you don't play."
I mean, I'll take a couple of million they're offering.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
But yeah.
I mean, it's been a
Been a
great
nice
time.
Episode. We got interrupted, but we
we
moved from there.
Yeah, fuck the workers.
Fuck the Lakers.
Bloody Bob. Bloody Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder over there. What's he playing at? You know what I mean?
But no, thank you for joining us, and we shall see you next week.
Yeah,
Appreciate it,
have a
people.
good time.